Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, if you are Nigerian, unless you have been living under a rock, then you must be aware that there has been a nationwide protest going on all over the country for the last 10-11 days now. So the protest, of course, is a target specific. A lot of people are put their attribution to that protest that is going on, but the protest is target specific and they have a list of demands that they are requiring of the government. So in this video, I am going to run you through that list. As guys, I bring you this full list, the demands of the EndSARS protesters. So as I said, the protest is about a specific thing or a list of specific things. A lot of us, of course, would like to imagine that it was more than that, but at the moment they are narrowing it down to achievables, and those achievables are listed on this video. So again, the headline, full list, the demands of the hashtag EndSARS protesters. So now let's go through that list. What started as a gathering in some parts of the country has crippled economic activities in major cities, from Ogbomoso in Oyo to Surulere in Lagos to the nation's capital and parts of many other states. Protesters are calling for police reform and demanding an end to brutality. For the fourth day running, the hashtag EndSARS has been amongst the top trends on social media. The killing of a young man in Delta State and the brutalization of another person in Lagos had triggered this unrest, which made Mohamedou Adamu, Inspector General of Police, to dissolve the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS 48 hours after the youth trooped out on the streets. Refusing to back down, the protesters said dissolving SARS is just one out of the demands that they have. They vowed not to leave the streets until all other demands are met. Earlier on Tuesday, Femi Adesina, the presidential spokesperson, announced that the presidential panel on the reform of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS had accepted the 5-point demand of the hashtag EndSARS protesters. So below is a list of the demands. So we now go through the list. So the first demand, of course, is the immediate release of all arrested protesters. So that stands to reason, and of course you would expect that. So the second demand is justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensations for their families. So that again reasonable. The third demand, setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reported police misconduct within a period of 10 days. So now this is a key component of this thing, because it is that impunity really that allows these people to just escalate it and escalate it. But if there are repercussions, and if examples are made of about 10, 20, 30 of them, then they will buck up their ideas, because they know, of course, that if they act with impunity, then they will discover that the laws of Nigeria does not facilitate for that. So that's a key one. So again, just to reread that, that's the third one again we're rereading, setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reported police misconduct within a period of 10 days. So they set up this panel. They're not saying set up the panel within a period of 10 days, but the panel must investigate and come to a conclusion on reported police misconduct within 10 days. So let's say, for instance, you approach the panel to report an errant police officer, then the panel is duty bound within 10 days to report back to you or to present a position that is a way forward. So a 10-day working period for the panel to say, this has been reported, start the investigation, and have something significant within 10 days. So that is very important and very good. We carry on. The fourth one, carrying out psychological evaluation and retaining of all disbanded SARS operatives before they can deploy this should be verified by an independent body. So an important one as well, because in the speech that the Inspector General of Police made, Adamu, he said that they had disbanded SARS, which is what Nigerians wanted, but then he said the personnel will be reabsorbed into the police force, which is not what the Nigerian population wants. What Nigerians want is to isolate these people and quarantine them within, at least virtually, within some sort of structure, and then investigate them and their conducts and the complaints that has been leveled against them individually. So they have to be re-evaluated before they're reabsorbed back into the policing system. Because there's one guy, Nwafo, I can't recall his first name. Nwafo is particularly notorious in the eastern part of Nigeria. He's just like a trigger-happy guy, and they have attributed a lot of lost people to this guy. So that's sort of a person. I mean, to the point that the governor of Abia State, I think, is it Abia or Ebonyi State, one of the two, has just gone to effect an arrest of this SARS guy. If I can find his name, I'll put it in the comment section. I think it's Nwafo, his last name is, but I can't recall his first name. So you can't just then reabsorb them wholesale into the police force without a vetting process. So that vetting process is what is being referenced in this fourth demand. So carrying out of psychological evaluation and retaining of all disbanded SARS operatives before they can redeploy. This should be verified by an independent body. So they want this done outside of the police as well. That just shows the level of distrust now that exists in the relationship between the police and the people in Nigeria. So we go on to the fifth and final one. The government should increase police salary and they should be adequately compensated for protecting lives and property of the citizens. So that is a key component as well, because on my community wall, I posted the salary scale of the police of Nigeria, the entirety of their force, in fact, and up to the level of a sergeant and a senior sergeant at that. The take-home pay is actually around about 50,000 naira per month. So imagine that, 50,000 naira per month. That's less than £100 for a senior police person. So you give this person now £100 or less as his monthly pay. From that, he pays his rent, he feeds his family, he transports himself. So you pay him £100 and then you give him an AK-47 to parade the streets of Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, wherever. You give him an AK-47 and you ask him not to rob people. Why would he not rob people? Because that 50,000 naira is not sufficient to even last the average person for 2 days. Imagine the average police sergeant, somebody that has risen to the rank of a sergeant. So you imagine that he's married. Let's say he has 2 kids. The kids have to go to school. His rent has to be paid. His wife wants money for this, that, and the other. The children have to be entertained. He has to live a life himself. All of that from 50,000 naira a month, and you're asking why this guy is on the street robbing people. I don't really think the question should be put to the police. The question should be put to the governmental structure. Meanwhile, the average senator in Abuja is collecting 1 million naira per annum as newspaper allowance. Newspaper allowance, that's twice or even nearly 3 times the income, annual income of a police sergeant. A police sergeant will take 3 or more years to earn the newspaper allowance of a senator. So this is the disparity that we're seeing within the Nigerian space, and they're telling us that they have no money to increase their salaries. Well, if you just cut back 10% from what you're looting, you will triple or quadruple even their salaries without even blinking. Because if you have money to be buying Arabian weddings for your daughter from Dubai, then certainly you have enough money to pay pay the police a living wage. So let's just run down that list of 5 again. Immediate release of all arrested protesters, so we agree with that, no question about that. Justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensations for their families. Well, that's beyond question. Setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reported police misconduct within a period of 10 days. This is a key component of that thing. For me, that is the silver bullet in this whole list of demand. Number 4, carrying out psychological evaluation and retaining of all detained SARS operatives before they can be deployed. This should be verified by an independent body. So of course, I mean, this again, you can't really quibble with that. And number 5, to round it up, the government should increase police salary and they should be adequately compensated for protecting lives and properties of the citizen. Well, we've already gone through their pay scale, so you can't really quibble with that. So now those are the list of demands of the people protesting, just so we're clear on what is actually being demanded. So this list now has been taken to Malam Buhari, who has of course squeezed it in his hands and thrown it in the bin, and then they've replaced SARS with SWAT within 1 week. So what process was gone through for that to happen? What policy, what reform, what investigation, what analysis, what's led to that? So you just change their name from SARS to SWAT, and then that is the end of it. I mean, it just shows you the level of intelligence that we're contending with, or lack thereof, should I say, putting it in the proper context. Conversations in the comment section, the list of 5, and there it is. What do you make of it? What would you rather see on that list, and what would you like to see removed? I don't imagine anybody will want anything removed from that list, but whatever your thoughts are, come share them with me in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come join me in the comment section, then come tell me what you're making of this list of 5. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.